Is fourth generation music bad? Let's discuss. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a bit of a different video than usual and I'd like to thank Martin Hemela for commenting this under one of my videos. Before we begin, I'd like to give you guys some context on my background in music. I started playing the piano when I was 5 and played all the way until I was 17. I got into K-pop at the tail end of 2017, so I am most familiar with mid to late third gen music all the way to the present. My parents practically raised me on music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, ranging from the likes of Michael Jackson to Roxette, to Enya to Teresa Teng, and the plethora of classical music CDs my parents owned, 'cause we're your stereotypical Asian family. So even before I got into K-pop, I had listened to music from around the world. Now getting back on track, let's start the video. What is the fourth generation? The starting year varies and it also depends on the company, but as a general rule of thumb for me, I'd say that NCT sits at the border between third and fourth gen. Kinda gets murky since Blackpink debuted a couple months after them and is obviously considered to be a third gen group. However, I think that the year when the fourth generation really cemented itself and became obvious is 2019, when we had an explosion of debuts from renowned companies. Since I started listening to K-pop, I have primarily fallen for fourth and late third gen groups. Some fourth gen groups that I like include NCT, if you consider them to be fourth gen or 3.5 or whatever, Ghost 9, Luna, Everglow, Idol, aespa, Itzy, Atties, TXT, Unhypen, P1 Harmony, DKB, Stray Kids, CIX, Omega X, Kingdom, One Us, One We, Very Very, BDC, Elist, Stacy, Only One Of, On and Off, The Boys, Golden Child, Purple Kiss and so many more. But does that mean I'm a noise music lover? Is fourth generation music noisy? Well, put it this way, this was considered noise music at some point. And this too. And even this. Now they are considered to be classics, having their own place in history where people look fondly towards. We want what we had in the past because we associate it with nostalgia and begin to see the beauty of it in hindsight. Trust me, give it 5 years and people will be praising fourth gen music once the fifth generation is in full throttle. I'd also like to raise something that K-pop YouTuber, Angelina, often says in her videos about how she was often perceived as a salty second gen stan when critiquing third and fourth gen music, and how she finds it funny how third gen stans are now being called salty and bitter when critiquing fourth gen music. I think the best way to describe this is through the fashion cycle. If you look at the fashion in the last 50 or so years, you see a pattern come up. After every decade there is a complete change in aesthetic. In the 70s you had your white flowy blouses, psychedelic patterns, lots of browns and oranges and earthy colors. Then in the 80s you had an explosion of color and glamour. The 90s in comparison were a lot more toned down and minimalistic. If you were a teenager in the 90s, you wouldn't be caught dead in a neon tracksuit and a perm. What I'm trying to get at here is that with every era comes a shift and not everyone likes it, especially those whose generation, for lack of a better word, ruled the era and influenced the aesthetic, which is now considered to be outdated and choosy by the incoming generation. Basically drawing off of Angelina's remarks, fourth gen stans are the teenagers being the primary drivers of influence. Third gen stans are their parents clinging on to the past. And second gen stans are the grandparents watching all the shit go down and laughing at it. To answer the question, is fourth gen music noisy? Sure, there is the trend of construction sounds being used, but not all of it is like this. Those who say that all of fourth gen music is noise music clearly only fixate on a few groups and only their title tracks. You have Elist, Stacy, Weekly, TXT, Unhypen, Idol, Purple Kiss and so many other groups considered to be part of the fourth generation that I would argue have extremely minimal noise music in their discography. Noise music does characterize the general popular sound of this era, but it doesn't mean that every single piece of music is noise. Do I think that fourth gen music is on the right or correct path for K-pop? I don't think arriving at a destination is necessarily the purpose of music. Music is used for an artist to express themselves. Sure, we also have to factor in the entire capitalism discourse of the music and entertainment industry, where anything that's considered mainstream sells the most and so everyone follows the same trend. But dwindled down, it is about an artist being creative and having a medium through which they can express it. Music simply evolves much like how humans evolved. There was no instruction manual for it, so there wasn't really a direction to follow. We could try to control its evolution and we can predict the trajectory of music, but we can't 100% know its future. I mean, who would have predicted Gangnam Style to go viral, or even just K-pop in general to blow up like it has and still continues to do? For all we know, some Swedish group could come out of nowhere and top the charts. Oh wait, that actually happened. Now, do I like noise music? Sure. Do I like all noise music? No. Do I like 4th gen groups? Absolutely. You could watch any of my videos and know my love for 4th gen groups and how I can't seem to stop adopting more rookie groups. Do I like all 4th gen music though? No. Because not everything is my taste. And also it's just not possible to like everything. The simple thing is, if you don't like noise music then just don't listen to it. Actively explore other groups and even music from different times in history. Also, y'all gotta give underrated groups and B-sides in general a chance. I find that a lot of people are hesitant to check out B-sides and the statistics prove it. It's kind of like when you go up to a bubble tea shop and place an order. Do you stick with something that you know? Or do you venture off into something that you're not familiar with and might not like and you've just wasted your time and money on? You may or may not like the song, but what it does is help shape and provide depth in your understanding of what kind of music you enjoy and widens the scope and variation in music you come to enjoy. And also, I can't believe I have to say this, but why on earth are you guys hating on a song? It's just a song. There's nothing to get angry over. I personally don't like side effects and don't listen to it, but I respect the message of the song. Simple as that. You don't see me calling songs rubbish and artists talentless flops just because it's not my taste. If you don't like a song then don't listen to it. Listen to things that you like instead, or find something that you like by exploring different discographies. Be open to music. Believe it or not, but there is always something in the current music landscape that is to your taste. Moreover, you'll probably find something that you thought you didn't like but actually you like the way a particular artist does it. To finish off, is 4th gen music bad? First off, that is subjective and not something that you could answer without listening to the entire scope of 4th gen music, not just groups from the big four. That is a very tough task and I am not equipped, nor do I have the proper knowledge to deliver an absolute truth. In my opinion though, it isn't bad because I can always find something that I like from these groups. Not just their title tracks but also, and especially, their B-sides. Title tracks by default are meant to appeal to the mainstream trend. Since the industry has deemed noise to be the thing that sells, have a listen to the B-sides instead, cause there is a whole world of music you're missing out on if you only pay attention to the title tracks. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for coming to this rant of a video. I probably waffled here and there, but I hope you guys get my point. Remember that these are just my opinions and yours are valid too. So pop down your opinions in the comment section below and let's have a discussion. Remember to be respectful of others and stan underrated groups for clear skin and good grades. Until next time, stay groovy, stay safe, keep smiling. Love you all. Bye bye. Make this moment,